MJ Rodriguez is back on the New York stage telling the fascinating story of Elizabeth Swados' Runaways while also sharing her remarkable personal journey. We're here at City Center to find out more. MJ, this is your dressing room for what? Like a week?
Literally 4 days. Like, that's it. 4 days.
So you don't get too cozy?
No, I get cozy. I make space to be cozy.
Okay, but not decorating. You're not painting and painting rugs.
I might be taking some time out to paint this all lavender.
Can you imagine at the end of the weekend if they came in here and they were like, what did you do?
I just felt the artistic urge to paint. No, but yeah.
So you're in Runaways.
Yes, I am.
Now this is super exciting. I love the City Center. It's the Off-Center series, right?
Yeah.
So it's off-Broadway shows. Well, this is actually Runaways. It started off-Broadway.
It started off-Broadway and went to Broadway. Yeah.
And it had a lot of Tony nominations, and it was a big sensation in the late 70s.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of been gone for the most part. I mean, I've seen little bits and pieces of it, but did you know this show at all?
I didn't know this show at all. I did most of my research after I found out about it.
Yeah.
And it really reached out to me, and I think it's pretty relevant to what's happening now.
So let's set it up. It's about a bunch of teen runaways.
Anyone would think that it's mainly about teen runaways, but it's more than that. I think it's about just people who run away from themselves in general. Whether they run from home, run from themselves, run from their parents, it's a whole conglomerate of things that sticks with the title Runaway.
I was looking at your co-stars, and they look like a bunch of crazy talented kids.
They're crazy talented.
And how old are they?
The youngest is 12.
Wow.
And the oldest is 20.
Wow. Right, yeah, you're the oldest.
I'm one of the oldest.
But it's kind of like they call the wolf pack. They call it the wolf pack.
Yeah. Because we stick together. I mean, we're like a pack.
Yeah.
We keep it all in the family.
And a lot of them, this is like their first big thing, right?
Yeah, a lot of them, it is their first big thing. And some of them, they've been on Broadway too.
So what's it been like rehearsing with them? And what's it been like discovering this show together?
Well, I'll say this. Working with these kids has been, I always say this, working with kids in general, and especially with musical theater kids, it's humbling. As an adult, it's very humbling. And they teach you, they inspire you, they're innocent. There's no judgment, there's nothing. They just do what they do, and then they're kids again. And that's one of the best parts of being part of a production with, young superstars.
Being in the wolf pack.
Yeah, being in the wolf pack.
So who do you play?
So we gave ourselves names.
Okay.
And I gave my name Pixie. So I play Pixie in the show.
Pixie?
Yes.
P-I-X-I-E?
P-I-X-I-E, yes.
Okay, I like that. So you came up with that name in rehearsal?
I came up with that name in rehearsal, yes.
Okay, and why Pixie? What's Pixie like?
She's rambunctious, she's sassy, but she's like, the name that she has stands true. She's just like, she flies off, she soars.
So I first knew you, you were another Angel.
Yes,
you were Angel in that, actually, I thought a spectacular off-Broadway revival of Rent.
Wow, thank you.
I really loved that production. I thought it was really cool. And I felt like so many of you were really allowed to rediscover those roles in interesting ways. And you were spectacular as Angel. Was that like a total dream to get to do that?
You want to know something? It was always my dream ever since the age of like 11.
Right, since you saw the movie.
Since I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the play.
Okay.
And then at like the age of 14, I think, I saw the movie. Around that time when the movie came out, I was like, this is my dream. And ever since then, I've just been like dreaming until it happened. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And it was my first big show too, so I was like, whoa, this is like overwhelming, beyond belief.
And you were wonderful.
Thank you.
I've seen so many people play Angel, and you're right up there. And you won the Clive Barnes Award.
Yes, I did.
Let's be very clear. Let's remind people of the awards. And okay, so you are MJ Rodriguez.
Yes, I am.
And when you were in Rent, I saw your name, MJ Rodriguez, and at the time, I heard that you got the name from who? From like an iconic character. MJ.
Mary Jane from Spider-Man.
Right, from Spider-Man.
So I'm like a comic guru.
Yeah.
And I love Marvel.
Right.
So people are gonna know that I'm like an extreme secret geek, but I don't care.
Right.
So I saw her, and and then I saw the movie. Movies, I guess, make a really big impact on me.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and they just yelled out MJ, and I was like, I want that name. Let's see if I can find those initials in my name. And I found them.
Right.
and they're mine now.
What I find interesting is that you very recently came out as trans.
Yes, I did.
And I was really surprised when I heard the news. And I knew you as MJ from Rent. Of course, the kind of funny thing about all this is that most people, when they announce to the world they're trans, it's like a new name. You know what I mean? Everyone's like waiting on pins and needles to find out what Bruce Jenner's female name would be,
exactly.
Right? But like, no, MJ.
Yeah, I mean,
MJ.
I always say, what is a male or female name?
Right.
You know,
right.
Tony is a male name, but it can also be a female name.
Yeah.
You know, so why can't MJ be?
Okay, let's go back to the time of Rent.
Yes.
Is it safe to assume this journey was you were sort of already on this journey then?
I was definitely on this journey in Rent. I wasn't expressing it publicly, but I was mentally feeling that way. And when I go on stage, I felt like that was the person who I was. Ever since I was the age of 7, I knew. As I got older, you know, I had to fit the mold of what the world wanted to see me as.
Yeah.
And, you know, I played the part, you know, like any actress would do.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to stop doing this show. I'm going to stop doing this show. And I'm going to go on to another one, which is reality and living for me.
Wow.
And it happened.
Right.
And Rent was like the precipice of everything and made everything come together. And I just was like, okay, well, I'm just going to push on forward.
So when you actually realize that it's time to tell the world, and as a performer, you know, there's agents, there's managers, there are casting directors, there are certain roles you're going in for. So a lot of sort of announcements have to be made.
Yeah, and I, you know, the first thing I did was tell. I mean, of course, I told my parents.
Yeah.
And
by the way, your parents,
they're so accepting.
On your Instagram, I'm obsessed with both of them. They're both adorable.
They're so accepting.
Have they been amazing?
Oh, yeah. My father and my mom are so accepting of it. And, you know, it's just like it's not oh, I have to get you. It wasn't that. It's just like, oh, okay. You know.
Wow.
We've always known that.
Well, and we're living in an amazing world now where it is such a topic.
I mean, yes, it's definitely a topic, and I think that's great because I feel like there are more trans women that need to be seen in the industry and work fields. There needs to be not even some, there needs to be normacy shown within our lives. That we are not a stereotype, we're not a statistic, that we are just like anyone else.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but even if you think back to when you were doing Rent, I mean, so much progress has been made even in those years since that.
It's definitely been a journey.
Yeah.
Because you're right, 5 years ago, this wasn't even a topic.
Right.
You know, no one mentioned it. It was almost like it kind of felt like it was back in the 90s where it was like, shh, you know?
Yeah.
And then like 5 years later, it's like.
It's crazy. Yeah.
You know, here we are.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And so what's it been like with the industry? What's it been like with going in for roles, and what kind of roles do you want to go in for now, and how are your agents, and what's the whole process been like?
Well, it's been pretty splendiferous.
Yeah.
We're
a very loving community. The Broadway community is a very loving community.
Very loving
you've
community.
Experienced that through this as well.
I've gone in for cis roles.
Yeah.
You know, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's awesome that trans women are now being seen for cis roles.
Yeah.
You know, because that, like I said, that creates that space of normacy.
Right.
You know, and then after a while, it's not going to be so much of and I hate to say this, but, you know, it's kind of doing it, not so much of a trend, but as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? If she's on set, you know, it's like, oh, that's MJ. Yeah. Oh, and as a matter of fact, she's trans versus that's the transgendered woman MJ. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, we're making strides.
So what about your young co-stars? Do any of them talk to you about it? Or
you
is it a topic? Or
it's not really a topic. There were days where they would ask, you know, what my real name was and everything, and I told them I had no problem with that. And but that's pretty much it. Like after that, they were like, okay, girl, we're just about to do a show with you, and I'm like, oh, well then, great.
Right, because kids kind of get it more than
they
anyone,
do.
Right? I mean,
they do.
Yeah,
they really do. That's why I said, like, when you say something to them, they soak it up, and then they don't think about it. They're just like, okay, whatever.
I love it. So Runaways, this is the one weekend thing. People need to get up here to City Center.
They need to get up here and see it.
And are you super excited?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited that today is opening.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some great people in the audience, and I think they really need to see this and hear the message.
Yeah.
You know, it not only speaks about, you know, Runaways, it speaks about all different spectrums of people.
Well, I'm glad that this story is getting told.
I'm glad that it's getting told as well.
Yeah, that it's back. And I'm glad that you're telling your story.
I'm very happy I'm telling my story. I think it needs to be seen.
You're a total inspiration.
Thank you.
I just absolutely love watching your journey, and I can't wait to see what's next for MJ. I can't wait to see.
I hope some wonderful things come up.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everyone check out Runaways at City Center. $25. $25 to see her.
Come on.